Welcome, listeners, to this week's weekly rendition of the Full Trend Rejects. I'm Kodack,
I'm Rose.
I'm Billy.
the old drama goblin himself, and we are the captain of this pirate ship. This week, we have another great episode. Rose will talk about some mental disorders. Fittingly enough, Billy will take us through a totally metal haunted house, and I will look into a domestic terrorist who called Pennsylvania home.
Yo, can we do another pirate episode at some point?
Yeah, that's why I put that in there. Maybe I was thinking back to the pirate episode because I think in my idea list I have a pirate coming up at some point. Oh, no, I already did him.
That was one
I'll
of
find
my
another one.
ideas today.
I'll talk about pirates.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it until I saw Pirate Ship.
Yarg! What a great pre-topic.
The podcast where we figure out the new planes.
Yeah, on the fly here. All right, that's how we do it. But we do have some pre-topic here. We just finished American Horror Story Roanoke after a year putting it off.
Oh yeah.
Billy, have you seen that?
No, was it good?
Here's the thing.
It had potential to be good.
It had potential because like some of the scenes were actually like terrifying and what acting was really good. However, you know those shows like on Investigative Discovery or something where they show some footage and they have an interview?
Yeah.
Well, they went with that format, which works for like those kind of shows, but a show like this where you're relying on suspense and what's going to happen next, seeing that some people are alive at the end, hear them just come in through turn like mid scene, it's kind of takes away from it. And then there was like a random episode where the director of the show on the show would try and go around and just getting actors back. And it was like this is doing nothing. It was like they had an idea. They were like me, they had half of an idea, except there wasn't a Rose here to finish the idea, so they kind of just went with that.
I
I feel
saw
like
like one episode.
I feel like they had potential to do something good, but it went too fast and it would have been a short season. If they would have ended it at the after like episode 6, it would have been a decent season.
Oh yeah.
But then they had to fill it with 6 other random episodes of bullshit that was completely like they ran out of things to write about.
Just put filler in for like half of it.
Yeah, half was filler. It was annoying, but we're on the cult now, and that's better.
Yeah,
That's
we're
the
almost
best one.
I've been enjoying it so far. We're just at the point where what's his name got shot on the stage.
Ah,
Kaifish.
that one and Freak Show. Top American Horror Stories.
Love Freak Show. I mean, Hotel's my favorite so far, but I love Freak Show.
Cult is good, but it feeds on the phobia.
It's so good.
It's so good, but this show is based off of like that one, like a whole phobia aspect of it. There's so many in there that just I was not okay because we watch it before bed, and then I dream of clowns, and
Oh, they
and
dig
I
into
know
more too.
Can't wait. I mean, I also kind of like see most of the stuff like coming before it actually happens. Like, I had a feeling Kyle wasn't gonna die when he got shot. I had a feeling that people across the street were part of the cult. I had a feeling, and then I say that the fucking shrink guy, he was in on it at some point.
yeah,
Oh wait, there's some twists.
like his parents that are rotting upstairs. That shit fucked me up.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one coming. That was a nice little addition to it.
Yeah, see, they there's twists involved that you don't see coming.
I mean, I think we're more than halfway through, so
Oh yeah, definitely. The only one that I know you haven't seen yet, the dumbest one so far for me is 1984. It was more like a parody. Like they didn't take
Oh,
it
I
serious.
tried.
Dude, it was so ass, but you'll see once we get there.
okay, well, you're
you
really
may like
selling
it.
it.
Well, you may like it.
I like the dumbest shit, so
So that's what I'm saying. Like
It's like a
re-looking at
1980s slasher.
yeah, I
Yeah.
fucking love those movies. I
It's
know they're
cheesy
dumb
as
as
shit.
yeah.
yeah, I know they're dumb as hell, and we're just throwing together half of them.
Half the time I'm rooting for the killer.
I say like 80% of the time I am.
I think
Oh,
next is
yeah.
that one's good.
Yeah, I think Apocalypse is next.
Yeah, that one was decent.
Didn't see that one.
It was decent. But yeah, I mean, all those American Horror Story fans out there, I mean, there's definitely bangers, and then there's ones that could have been better, but
When you have a show like
Sure.
that where it's an anthology series, you're gonna have that.
There's some seasons that are just Bupkis.
You know, I was gonna say it, and you took it. I appreciates that.
Anthony was so mad.
Oh,
Yeah, as I told Billy, he's like, "So how's your feelings? How's your emotions?" And I found out they weren't making another season, and that kind of that made it worse.
and then I found out they weren't making another season.
You're welcome.
uh,
Even though the season was greenlit, he just doesn't want to do it. So
fucking Pete.
yeah, you never know what's gonna happen with him. It's a
Fucking
fucking
Joey
wild card.
Mama.
I mean, I didn't see it. I did watch the last episode with you,
Yeah.
and it was pretty insane.
But like most of the episode, there was like some fun adventure with like a life lesson in there somewhere. You can see Pete being like a genuine person. But then that last episode, they're having a flashback with his dad playing with him, and it's like,
It's
oh,
like the last 2 episodes.
yeah, like, it just comes out of nowhere with feelings and emotion. Or like that one episode, went with the girl to the amusement park and took her daughter, and she's like, "Wow, that was really fatherly of you." And he was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah,
And yeah, he's just there having fun with the kid and whatnot. She's just watching on.
John
Like, who
Mulaney, top notch.
that was a good one too. He has a new special coming out soon.
Yeah, it's like, with the Comedy Fest. Yeah, it's allergy season, Doug.
It's that's what they want you to think. Do you know most people with allergies had a COVID vaccine? I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, most people have allergies.
There might be a connection somewhere.
I am super excited
Why?
because it's officially our 30-day countdown
Oh boy,
to Disney.
we're gonna do it in Disney. Oh,
Oh, boy.
And as soon as do you know how fucked up my brain is?
I have a good idea.
As soon as I said I'm so excited for Disney, I thought about getting on that plane and I said, "Holy shit, I have to get on a plane in
Yeah,
30 days."
I got one of those
All
aeroplanes.
all I
I
can
mean,
picture is Marge Simpson running through the fucking plane screaming, "Let me out."
Man,
listen, we're gonna get her to the airport bar. She's gonna get loaded up. She's gonna be fine.
plus I'm on
Just
anxiety medication now, so we should be okay.
oh, yeah, you're good.
Just remember, if
You got
JJ the
this.
fly with no maintenance, okay? I'm sure this plane can fly with a lot of maintenance.
Don't make jokes. Don't
What?
make catch me at the bar, how about that?
Yeah, that's what I said. We're gonna get loaded up.
Spend $100 on 2 drinks.
We get
Just
probably
make
3.
sure you're not drunk enough to get on the plane or too drunk to get on the plane.
I'm
I
a professional, sir.
I do have a pretty fun airport story that kinda revolves around that.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
So, I was flying to San Antonio the one time. We had a layover in was it Houston, I think? I don't know, somewhere in the Texas area. We loaded the plane, and then we had to come off the plane because it failed its pre-flight check.
Oof.
So we're back out. They finally found a plane, but I had to come from Chicago. So Texas, Chicago, it's a pretty good distance even by plane. But so they're like, hey, we're going to reopen the bar up. They're having some food for everyone. So I'm like, okay, awesome. So I go sit down, and next to me is a Arab, and specifically a Saudi Arabian. It just comes up.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to say that first one.
Hold on. Hey, you're just like the racist, the real racist here. So he sits down. He goes, he just goes to me, "Hey, do you think I can go out for a smoke?" I'm like, um, you might be able to. I'm not sure, but you're probably gonna have to go through security again on your way back in. And he's like, "Oh, and I'm sure I'll get the random searched." Is this okay for me to laugh at? Like, is this?
No, he knows how fucked up it is.
Yeah. Well, it turns out this dude was with the Royal Saudi Arabian Army. He was an officer.
Oh, shit.
And we're just talking, laughing and whatnot. And he's like, hey, the bar's open. Do you want one of these drinks? And I felt like an asshole because I didn't order a drink. Because as far as I knew, Islamists didn't drink alcohol. So I'm like, sure, I'll have a drink, whatnot. I don't want to be rude, you know. He's like, okay, what do you want? We're looking through, and he said, "Well, I like whiskey and coke." I'm like, "Fair enough. Here we go." And then he goes, "Can we get 2 double whiskey and cokes?" I'm like, "Oh shit. Okay, this guy's no trying to party.
He knows how to party.
Is he trying to get state secret for me? Is that?" It takes more than one double to get me to spill that, trust me. But, yeah, we started talking, he was, like, just normal, funny as hell guy, and he's sitting there like, "You know what I don't understand about this country?" I'm like, "Here we go." He's like, "For me, being in the military, it's just a job. I go to job, I come back, that's it. Here, the military is so celebrated." And I'm like, "Yeah, they really try to correct the course after Vietnam."
Yeah.
Actually, what happened? And then I just remember, like, we finally the plane's there, and he started telling me one last story. Now it's kind of fucked up, but to him, it was normal. And he's like, "Yeah, I was very lucky to get in the officer program. Almost no one gets in there. You have to like know people, you have to be connected." And then he's like, "I remember my dad took me there, and when he dropped me off, he said, 'Come back either if you don't come back as an officer, I will kill you.'"
Oh.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
"Oh god." And he laughed at it. I'm like, "Why? How is that funny?"
And my humor's dark?
And it was just so nonchalant that he said that. And like this is as we're in line, surrounded by people. Like we went from talking about video games and TV shows and whiskey, and he's just like ended with this story.
See ya.
And I'm like, it haunted. Like I thought the entire flight I had, it sat with me. I landed, got my rental car. It still sat with me. I almost didn't sleep that night because it's just with me. And I had a hearing. I was in trouble, but I had a hearing to go to the next day. That's why I was in San Antonio. It was part of my medical discharge stuff, and it was crazy. And I still think about, like, I wonder what he's up to.
I hope he became an officer, Jesus.
No, he wasn't off, like, he was already an officer,
Oh, okay.
and when he was dropped off at the training building, he was told that.
Okay, so he's still alive, good.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Hope yeah, I would hope so.
I mean, I don't know what the Saudi, military's doing these days.
Have you heard the term war crimes? They do that in Yemen a lot.
It's not a war crime if you're the first to do it.
No, we all been there. We've all done what they done. But I do like that, it's not a war crime the first time, the Canadian method.
Yeah, I learned it from you.
What did I no, oh, that's not answer that. But anyway, yeah, 30-day to Disney.
Yep. I'm so excited.
What are you most
Except for the
excited for besides things around the world?
Epcot is definitely up on the list. Just the alone time. I love our kids,
Oh, by the same time, Jesus
but
Christ.
the ability for us to be able to be youthful and the non-responsibility. What is it? Has Chucky say it in the Red Rest? No responsibilities.
No
No,
responsibility.
no responsibilities.
We're gonna leave with no regrets.
Yeah. I want to be able to have fun and relax. I know that it's gonna be hard because I don't know how to be without the kids, but I'm excited at the same time to try to have fun. There's a couple places that we're going to eat that I'm excited
Well,
for.
there's some nice looking places.
I'm hoping that if it's delicious as the price
Oh, we
makes it
didn't get
seem.
the space place, did we?
We did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna eat in space. Sort of.
Yeah, we got the Be Our Guest. We got the space, what is it, 220 or something?
220, something like that. There's an Italian place.
Yeah, the Italian place. That random Star Wars bar that we're gonna go to.
The Cantina.
Yeah.
Put some respect in the name, please.
Uh,
I hope that song gets stuck in your head
Oh, it will.
because it's in mine now.
I think they said they play it there too. I hope so. Because I
I
will
would
get
hope.
at 2 o'clock and start dancing with them.
and I'm also excited about the balcony view
Oh
because
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna do it
In
like
front
they
of a
do it
giraffe. Aha, it's a giraffe.
on the Discovery Channel.
We're monkeying around.
The view of we have the Savannah view, is that what it's
All
called?
that is I'm trying to view your savannah.
And you actually get to see animals from your balcony. So
Yeah. Some baboons and some baboobs.
I've seen that on like TV shows and shit. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Maybe in like 5 years, once we recuperate from all the money we're gonna spend down there, we can do it again, but with the kids.
Yeah, yeah. Cool be
When
working
they
by
were
then.
old enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cole will definitely be old enough to remember, but Alina will be, 7, so that's a good age. And, Cole will be long in his teenage years, so it's either gonna be really cool for him or just
We'll have fun.
Embarrassing.
There's
The
something for everyone.
teenage angst.
Just a teenage mouse baby.
Go to see the TikTok.
Catch me, ram, sir. Do they still say suck?
I don't know.
They do now.
I have no idea what they say
Damn
anymore.
kids.
Damn
Cole,
kids in their slingo.
the lingo now is just ridiculous.
Makes me mental.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good swing. Good swing.
good.
Yeah, thank you. I know some slang.
Oh yeah, you know some sling.
Some sleeny slang. Must be my slang everywhere.
No, there you go. Well, as you guys know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So all of us fragile little people get to celebrate being fragile.
I don't speak Italian.
You're very aware.
I wanted to take this time to discuss different types of mental illnesses that millions of people that suffer from one thing to another. You
I
don't know.
collect them like gym badges. I thought we attacked them in the Aries episode.
I'm willing to attack you in every
Oh,
episode.
appreciate it. Marriage is great, guys. 10 out of 10 star review.
There are many different types of conditions out there. Some that are recognized as mental illnesses. Some are more common than not. I'm gonna start with ones that are more household names. Anxiety disorders. I know I discussed this a couple weeks ago, but my anxiety wanted to talk more about anxiety, so here we are. People with anxiety disorders respond to certain things and situations with fear and dread, and with physical signs of anxiety or panic, such as rapid heartbeat and sweating. Anxiety disorders include general anxiety, panic, social anxiety, check, and specific phobias that they have. Another one that's common is mood disorders. We knew a few of those.
We sure diddly do.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What?
These disorders are called affective disorders, involving persistent feelings of sadness or periods of feeling overly happy, fluctuating from one extreme to another, from extreme happiness to extreme sadness all at once. It's a good time.
Bipolar.
How'd this get turned on me?
Yeah. The most common of this disorder is depression and bipolar.
Your turn to be attacked, bitch.
Oh, that was bad.
It's my turn now. Psychotic disorders. Psychotic disorders involve distorted awareness of thinking. Two of the most common symptoms of psychotic disorders are hallucinations, or experiencing of images or sounds that are not real, such as hearing voices, and delusions, which are false mixed beliefs that the ill person accepts to be true despite the evidence that says otherwise. Schizophrenic is the number one example of this disorder.
I used to hear voices.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I also get my ass kicked a lot as a kid, so that's probably why.
Turns out people were just talking to me.
It's the little girl with black hair.
Yeah, that was my girl.
Eating disorders. It's more common than you think. Eating disorders involve extreme emotional attitudes and behaviors involving weight or food. Anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorders are the most common of these disorders, but there's also disorders that involve people eating their emotional state too much to where they become obese.
Yeah, like fat bastard. I'm sad because I'm always eating, and I'm
I'm
always
just
eating because I'm always sad. That's your cycle.
Impulsive control and addiction disorder. People with impulsive control and addiction disorders are unable to resist urges, impulses, or performing acts that can be harmful to themselves or others, such as pyromania, fire bad, your kleptomania, stealing bad, and compulsive gambling are examples of compulsive disorders.
How am I bed doing?
Someone's a little
Hey, I'm not addicted to gambling, all right? I don't spend that much on it.
good boy. Alcohol and drugs are common objects of addiction. Often people use these disorders to become involved with their addiction, beginning to ignore their responsibilities or relationship.
It's more crack in my sandwich.
Let us
Tap, tap, tap.
sprinkle a little crystal in there.
Yeah, sometimes, meth makes the world go around.
This one, personality disorders. I'd like to think all of mine are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Keep telling yourself that.
There's a few. That's the elephant graveyard.
Yeah, there's a
We
few
don't
that can
talk
stay in the
about them.
closet and just shut the door.
People with personality disorders have extreme inflexibility personality traits that are distressing from the person and cause the problems in work, in school, social relationships. In addition, the person's patterns are often of thinking or behavior significantly differ from the expectations of society. They are so rigid that they interfere with the normal person's functioning. For example, these include antisocial personality
Billy.
disorder, check. Obsessive compulsive disorder, schizopersonality disorder, and paranoid personality disorder. I swear I did not set out to attack us. It just happens to be
I
there.
feel great so far.
We are.
I'm in physical pain today, not emotional pain.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, looking forward to this. You're about to get attacked.
Obsessive compulsive disorder,
Is this red
or
denial?
also OCD. People with OCD are plagued by constant thoughts of fears that cause them to perform certain rituals or routines. Disturbing thoughts are called obsessions, and the rituals are called compulsions. Person with these have unreasonable fear of germs and constantly washes their hands, for example.
Very common in Germany.
Huh.
No, I'm serious. That's like very common, like
OCD?
constantly going with the germs and washing hands and whatnot.
I
Germany,
thought
Switzerland, Austria. Yeah.
I thought you were making a joke because it's Germany.
Well, that
I thought
that
you were.
is an actual.
I didn't think you were being funny. I thought you were being punny.
What can I say? My knowledge is infectious.
No, you're
Post
stronger than us. We know.
disorder,
Woo! PTSD in the
also
house.
known as PTSD.
Shell shock syndrome.
PTSD is a condition that can develop during traumatic or terrifying events, such as a sexual or physical assault,
Dad?
the unexpected death of a loved one, or a
Dad?
natural disaster. People with PTSD also have long lasting or frightening thoughts and memories of events, and they tend to be emotionally numb to things.
It's a fun time.
Stress response syndrome, formerly known as adjustment disorders.
Don't look at me.
Stress response syndrome occurs when a person develops an emotional or behavioral symptoms in response to a stressful event or situation. The stressors may include a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or a tornado, events like car accidents, or a diagnosis of a major illness. Personal problems such as divorce, death of a loved one, loss of a job, problems with substance abuse, and it usually begins within 3 months of the event or situation and stops within 6 months after the stressor ends. So it's like kind of like a short term.
It's like pre-PTSD.
Yeah.
PPTSD.
PP, dissociative disorder. People with this disorder suffer from severe disturbances or changes of memory, identity, general awareness of themselves and their surroundings. This disorder usually is associated with overwhelming stress that may be a result of a traumatic event, accidents, disasters, like I said before. This disorder is formally called multiple personality disorder or split personality disorder. Disorders like these are example of this dissociative disorder. Usually people they go from one extreme to another, kind of like your bipolar. It's kind of like
Bipolar and crack.
it's kind of like if bipolar and PTSD and the stress response syndrome merged together and morphed into a giant ball of mental fuck.
Mental fuck. It's like when two telepaths have sex, they just have a mental fuck.
Fictitious disorders. Fictitious disorders are a condition in a person knowingly and intentionally creates or complains of a physical or emotional symptom in order to place the individual into a role or of the patient or a person in need of help. Those people like a hypochondriac, someone who constantly feels like there's something wrong with
Or
themselves.
like people like when events are coming up, they're like, hey, I don't feel good.
Yeah, that too. I can't stand you.
What? I'm just bringing ideas of what these disorders could be.
Sexual and gender disorders, don't come after me. Okay? I don't want anybody coming after me for this one.
Are you sexually confused?
Once upon a time.
Is the doorknob like shiny?
These include disorders that affect sexual desire, performance, and behavior. Sexual dysfunctions, gender identity disorder, paraphilia are examples of sexual and gender disorders. Anything to say with that one?
Why do I make fun of people with disorders?
No, I just are you questioning whether or not you are okay with your sexuality?
I'm pretty okay with my sexuality. Listen, between like I say this many times, between football and military, I've seen about 100 dicks, okay? And that's outside of Roanoke. And I never looked at them like,
That looks
that looks
neat.
curious. I'm gonna take some of that kabasi. No. I look like, pass.
Okay.
Sometimes I see a tit, I'm like, neat.
Somatic system disorder. A person with this disorder experiences physical symptoms of an illness or pain with an excessive level of distress regardless of whether or not the doctor can find any kind of medical cause for these symptoms. Your phantom diseases.
I believe it. Oh, it's like those people like they lose like a fucking arm or something in an accident, and they can just
Yeah.
feel like they feel it.
Yeah. Last but not
Phantom
least,
pains.
last but not least, I have tick disorders. Peop
TikTok.
People with tick disorders make a sound or display of non-purposeful body movements that are repetitive, quick, sudden, and uncontrollable. Sounds that are made involuntarily and called vocal tics. Tourette syndrome is the prime example of the tick disorder.
My friend with Tourette's is a delight.
They are totally some swell people.
That'd be fun. Other diseases or
Wow.
conditions.
You think having a disease like that is fun?
No, I was thinking. You know
go ahead,
what?
explain yourself. Go
No,
ahead.
you know, you're right. I do think it would be fun.
Wow.
Cocksucker.
There's someone out here, but Tourette's is like, shit. And they actually mean it, but no one takes it serious.
I was thinking I would love to drink with somebody with that because I would just have a grand old time. Okay, like I said, other diseases or conditions, including various related problems and many forms of dementia, including Alzheimer's, are sometimes classified as a mental illness because they involve the brain. Now that I've gone through this list, how many of these do you relate to or feel attacked
Let
by?
me check my Scantron.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was attacked by any. I would say, huh, I should get this checked out.
Probably. I'll have my therapist know tomorrow.
Okay. My wife attacked me on our
You
podcast.
attacked me like, is she like hitting you? Like, what's going on? No, she's mean things to an audience of people that listen to us.
Is it directly? No, it's
No,
logic.
I'm getting offended by it. Tell her to stop. She'll wait till I'm fed and too tired to complain that much.
That's metal.
We should have a therapy episode.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's get dark and deep.
I don't know if I want to delve into that.
We try to find a therapist that comes on here, talk to us. How awesome would that be?
Just get
Nah.
brand new. Just have him smash like a whole like 12 pack of Miller Lite and just start drinking.
It's a good talk. I'm not shitting you. It's a good talk.
It is.
Yeah, but can you imagine the rest of us just being
Yeah.
drunk and emotional?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
We're gonna cry on an episode.
All right, Billy, I'm gonna get the wine.
All right.
That's the best way to do it. Wine brings out the tears and everything.
Especially if you're
Oh, see, you're both going for lead-ins. I don't know how to continue. For those unaware, my write-up this week is called "The Most Metal House in the United States." I apologize. I will be sniffly. It's allergy season, and I am dying.
I've been mostly editing them out. It's okay.
Oh, cool. So guess who missed doing spooky shit? If you guessed your boy, you'd be right. While doing my usual "what the fuck am I doing this week" jumble of studying, I happened upon a lovely town of Cayuga, Illinois, or Indiana, not Illinois.
You put Illinois.
I know I put Illinois. I don't know why I put Illinois.
They don't want big technologies don't want people to know about this.
Indiana's on and later.
Remember that time you guys went to Indiana, but it wasn't Indiana?
Yeah.
That was a great time.
It's still a Pennsylvania roadside.
It's still a shut up.
I was trying to tell you.
I was too drunk to listen.
Yeah, see everybody.
We were all too drunk to listen.
Willow's Weep is the proclaimed most evil place in the United States, but I'm pretty sure everyone just says that about anything that's possibly haunted at this point. In its over 100-year history, it has seen at least 10 somewhat strange and or dark deaths.
Ooh.
First of all, you can continue with the spooky, scary skeletons. I will always pause for spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah.
You heard him. Might hit him with it one day out of nowhere.
First of all, the house itself just looks instantly creepy. The floor plan is styled in an upside-down cross if you're looking at it from the east. They say it's an upside-down cross, but maybe the builder was facing west, but probably not. In the center of the home, where the four sections meet, make a perfect pentagram in the ceiling. Directly to the front of the property is a mammoth willow tree, which is where Willow's Weep gets its namesake. Right out the front door is like walking directly into a crossroads, which holds a lot of supernatural belief, just like demons and shit. Definitely plays into this place being called the most evil in the States. Cayuga, Indiana was obviously what. See, I told you I put Indiana in here.
Hey, good job. You did.
Cayuga, Indiana was obviously a large expanse of Native American grounds. The Piankashaw called Cayuga and the entire county of Vermilion home. No, it's not Pokemon, Kodack.
Yes, it is. Vermilion City.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all. Ghostbusters!
It's
Well, yeah, kind of.
It's a reference within a reference.
fourth wall break.
The Piankashaw were closely tied with the neighboring Way territory to the north. The French had traveled through the area and battled hard with the native tribes, leading to a lot of bloodshed and likely spirits roaming the entire state, not just Cayuga. Artifacts from the Piankashaw have been found all over the grounds of Willow's Weep and the entire town of Cayuga.
I'd like the name Cayuga. Sounds like a sound a train would make in a 1920s cartoon. Cayuga.
It's fun to say. I'll give you. I apologize if you hear Daisy. She's being an asshole.
I was gonna say, do I hear a cat?
Yeah,
You know,
it's Daisy.
I'm gonna take all his sound effects and just turn to a beat one day.
I was gonna say something. I'm like, is it the sound or
We got allergies, Liz
Yeah.
coughing, cat, neighbors yelling. It's gonna turn into a beat one day.
All right, that sounds fun.
the sounds of Ashland?
Fast forward to 1890-ish. The only reason it's an ish is because there's no definitive timetable, but it's somewhere around here between the 1880s and 1890s. The house was built by Annual Sykes with his wife Minnie. The house sat closely next to his parents' house, Jesse Sykes and his kind of wife Elizabeth next door. Jesse Sykes is the first death in our story, and boy, oh boy, did he deserve it. Elizabeth was technically Annual's stepsister, and in 1874, Jesse was convicted of incestual intercourse with his very underage stepdaughter.
Oh,
Help me, stepfather. I'm
Hey.
stuck.
After he had been charged, he had divorced from his first wife and married Elizabeth. She had 6 kids over her life. Most of, if not all, of the children were from her stepdad/husband.
oh!
I mean, it's not incest, but it's still like
I thought you said
pedophilia.
Indiana, not Alabama.
Well, it's the 1800s. What do you want?
Consent?
Consent don't live here.
Not in the 1800s, it don't.
Oh.
In 1892, Jesse had left to feed the family hogs in the evening hours. After a few hours of him not returning, Elizabeth went to go see where he was, or if he was throwing it in another one of his kids.
Oh.
Oh
What
no,
you-
where can go?
What she found was horrific, but it's not that.
Oh.
When she found Jesse, he was being devoured by the hogs in the pen. Apparently, Jesse suffered from epilepsy and likely through a seizure in the pen. He would have been paralyzed and unable to move, but very much awake while the pigs chowed down on him. He was partially eaten alive, and it definitely couldn't have happened to a better person. They ate his junk.
Damn, that's fucking. I love pigs. We're getting a pet pig. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
She passed out on the ground one night.
Yeah, fuck. That's how I go. That's how I go. At least my body's being used.
Oh, when I do it.
Wait, we have two full cats. First of all, we accept that, okay? A little policy, okay? I'm just saying, cats will eat you the minute you're dead, okay? So we can afford.
In 1932, Annual and Minnie still lived at the residence. Minnie was quickly stricken with a very aggressive pneumonia, and Annual said with how fast it came on, it's like the infection knew of all the ways it could kill Minnie, and within 7 days had taken her. Poor heartbroken Annual continued to live in the house until 1950, when he suffered a very cerebral hemorrhage and died in the chair that is still in the house. Supposedly the chair is in itself haunted, but just looking at this hideous thing, you'd probably have nightmares too. This is also speculation, as other stories say he died in the bathtub. However, same cause.
So was this chair a rocking chair?
No, it's just like kind of an old
Oh,
style wood chair.
I was just wondering if it was a rocking chair because you said this is a metal household.
Oh wait, the Evil Dead portion comes in soon.
Oh, okay.
Cool,
Plus,
cool,
it's a
cool.
pentagram in the ceiling.
Love to see it.
Following the death of Annual sometime in the 1950s, a woman moved into the home with her son and daughter. The woman comes off as very much a black widow, with her previous three husbands dying untimely deaths.
Hmm.
One morning, the woman sent her daughter to the bus stop for school. This was kind of at the time that our parents talk about, with, they walk 15 miles in the snow uphill both ways. The bus stop was roughly a mile away.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we fought velociraptors on the way to the school bus.
The bus had returned hours later after school let out, but the daughter didn't step off the yellow monstrosity that was a 1950 school bus. She was never seen again, and no body had ever been found. Until a little later, but we're gonna get there. Sometime after the disappearance, her brother was found hanging in the parlor of the home. This obviously begs the question of if the woman murdered her children, which, as you'll find out later, probably did.
Spoiler alert.
Back in the day when that happened, you traveled 10 miles to school and sometimes took out your kids.
Now it's time for my favorite part of this entire story. Around this time as well, while replacing busted floorboards, the residents saw something that definitely shouldn't be in someone's floorboards. What they discovered was a dirt-covered, crumbling book underneath the residence. The book as it turned out, was filled with disturbing images and dark incantations resembling Wiccan activity.
Which?
You
The
witch.
inscription in the book claimed to be a previous resident. For fear of the witch and/or cult returning, the family burned the book and fled the home. Very Evil Dead type theme right now. See?
Just burn the house down.
Burning down the house.
Finding timetables for this place is actually decently challenging. So we're jumping to the 90s. Adam and Haley Navarre had owned the home where they lived with Haley's mother and stepfather. In 2001, Cheryl Skinner, the mother of Haley, suffered a massive heart attack in the home at only 42 years old. 8 years later, Kurt Skinner, her stepfather, committed suicide in the home with a rifle or a shotgun of some sort, which sounds very Kurt Cobain pulling a trigger with his toe. A rumor about this suicide is that it was in the same chair that Annual maybe died in. I highly doubt this is true, and probably more for cinematic effect. This family to this day is battling allegations that their family does haunt the home, claiming current owner Dave Spinks is only using their name to make money from the paranormal community. Following the Navarres, the home was purchased by Brenda Johnson so she could flip it. Here's where the paranormal activity really picked up in the home. Brenda, being a religious woman, had crosses hanging throughout the home, which, given the layout, seems kind of redundant. According to Brenda, where a cross was hanging on the wall, spontaneously burst into flames, melting the cross and leaving what looked like a goat head in the burn marks. I mean, I guess it kind of looks like a goat. Speculation of this tale is that at some point, kids broke into the home when it was vacant and lit a fire and left the burn mark. Damn kids, get off my lawn.
Get off my ceiling, you bastards.
Get off my crosses.
Wait, so that fire actually did happen? That's not like a speculation thing?
Yeah, I've seen the burn mark. Like I said, it kind of looks like a goat.
Huh. Neat.
Like a satanic goat head.
Yeah. It just kind of looks like a burn too, so I don't know. Around the time she had bought the home, Brenda hired a handyman named Rocky to take care of some of the maintenance of the house, ensuring that it was able to be flipped. While Rocky was mowing the lawn one day, Brenda heard a scream from outside. When she rushed out to the house, she found Rock crumpled next to the house. He claimed he didn't remember what had happened, but his spine was fractured in several places.
Jesus.
Deborah believed he had gotten too close to the willow tree in the front yard that she claims holds dark spirits from the past, which, okay.
Which is okay.
Adrian. They're spirits.
Oh, I think I call him Dwayne Johnson in here too. Remember how I said we'll get to the missing little girl? We got here. Following what I can only assume was a lengthy recoup time, Rocky had returned to work on the house. Brenda had complained to him of banging throughout the house, and they both deduced that it must be the plumbing underneath the house. When Dwayne, the maintenance man Johnson, crawled under the house, he had immediately noticed something off about the whole thing. In the dirt under the house were several mounds of dirt in varying sizes. Rocky Maivia just assumed this was some weird groundhog shit, and he pushed forward underneath the upside down, depending how you look at it, cross. He never found the varmint that was living under there. However, he did find something a little more disturbing. Old Rock stumbled upon some bones. He had just assumed it was an animal that crawled under the house, but before he could get that through his head, he claims that he witnessed hands reaching out for him from under the house.
High five.
You found it!
I won hide and seek. High five. You never found me.
Oh. When Rocky was finally able to free himself from under the house, he threw the bone at Brenda and said he'd never go back under the house. This is the same dude who doesn't remember how his vertebrae was fractured mowing the front lawn, so he was obviously a little shaken to say this. Deborah had a strange feeling about the bone and took it to the local physician. The doctor quickly identified the bone as the humerus bone of an older child. Kodack, I swear to God, don't make the humorous joke.
There's a child here, okay? God damn it. I'm not always filled when it comes to this.
Could this be the bone of the little girl who went missing, or was it remains from an even older time when native tribes ruled the land? Oh, I don't really have backing on this, but Brenda said that among several suicides in the home, 3 men had been poisoned. I don't know where she's getting the history of that, but maybe the demon told her. I don't know.
Was it a llama demon?
Twas a goat, I suppose.
Ah, damn it. That was a poison for Cusco.
This seems very, very movie-esque, if we're being honest.
Probably some guy coming down to the peasants, turned into a llama. Oh, the liver, Crunk! Run, liver!
You know what he's trying to do, Billy? He's trying to be humorous.
God damn it!
Well, you see, the last stroke went over your head, so we're trying to come back around.
You didn't specify which Kodak.
That is true.
We just had to let the humor joke age a little bit.
Oh, I like this girl. Ooh.
Yeah, like her way to dig it up a little bit.
When she realized the house was never going to change, Brenda decided to sell the house to the now current owner, then paranormal investigator David Spinks, after she had called him to inquire about the weep. Dave quickly got to work in the house, writing a book he independently published documenting the stories of the house. He also helped film the documentary Willow's Weep, a true haunted house in the heartland of America, which is where a lot of my resources come for this. Unfortunately, if we wanted to visit Willow's Weep, we can. Prior to COVID ruining everyone's fun plans, Dave closed the week for investigations and it has sat closed since. When I checked his Facebook, because of course I did, he had posted on April 7th of this year that he plans on having the house demolished and the lands blessed. This dude probably had some crazy shit happen in the house and wants nothing to do with it anymore.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of speculation on if this place is actually haunted or if someone saw The Conjuring one too many times.
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, think of the willow tree. Right? Weird, right?
Spooky, skeleton.
In my opinion, it's a bit of both. I believe it's haunted, but I highly doubt some of the demonic things like the cross bursting in the flames or the hands reaching out for the maintenance guy. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that the house is being torn down because at least I had a reason to go to Indiana. As always, I don't know what I'm doing next week, but I did miss doing some dark shit. So stay metal like Willow's Weeps, my friends.
Totally metal.
I got to the Necronomicon finding thing and I was sold.
Just hang in there.
Just hang in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just realized we're in Florida. We're going to burn up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. If it's hot now, we're going to fucking be destroyed in Florida.
I was making a joke about the house going on fire.
Oh.
Now who has jokes going over their head?
I don't know, but instead of talking about Florida, we should make our way back into our homeland here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're right. Before you start to sound a little too cross over there. All right, so we got friends in Pennsylvania to talk about today. Eric Matthew Frein was born on May 3rd, 1983 in New Jersey, which is not a shock to anyone with a moral compass that someone like this came from New Jersey.
Yeah, fuck off.
Oh my God, it's his birthday tomorrow. I should have sent a letter. Anyway, hey, you could do that. Growing up, he attended Pocono Mountain High School in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, where he earned top scores on the school's rifle team, a skill that will come up later in this episode. He learned how to shoot rifle from his father, Eugene Frein, who was a retired Army major with 28 years of service. During the manhunt for Eric, Eugene notified police that an AK-47 and a scoped 308 rifle was missing from the house.
So gun saves are for
No, you think. I actually do think there was a gun safe used there, but, Pennsylvania.
Ew.
So Eric was a reported survivalist with an intense grudge against law enforcement personnel. Friends and acquaintances told reporters that he was not always like that. He often performed in military reenactments of Eastern European conflicts, even had a small role as a concentration camp survivor in a 2007 movie, which is on. He comes complete with an IMDb page, so that's out there.
Oh wow, he made it.
Oh yeah, we'll get in the movie later. And he also helped with documentaries with props and references about World War One.
You ever
Totally
think of those
normal.
people that are serving all these, like, sentences in jail, and people make a movie, and they are like, "Oh, fuck, I'm spending my life in prison," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, they're writing movies about me and books," and
I don't think there's a movie about him.
but I'm saying, like, do you this Dahmer
There probably is by now.
that's what I'm
There
saying.
probably is like a doc, something out there. I didn't see anything
Like, if
major.
Dahmer or but if Ted Bundy was alive right now and all the movies that are being
Oh
made
yeah,
and shit, like, there has to be some kinda high.
I would be more focused on who's portraying me. Like what? How much do they care somebody to play me?
I think Dahmer would be very happy.
Yeah, Dahmer. Who was the
They
handsome
get
one?
Brad Pitt or I'm not doing it.
Ted Bundy
Yeah, Ted Bundy. He had.
Zac Efron do
Yeah.
it, and he did a really good job
Did I?
too.
I don't think I saw that one. No, didn't.
Not as good as Dahmer. Dahmer was insane.
That was insane.
Anyways, go ahead. My apologies.
It's okay. Eric was also a member of the Boy Scouts of America Mincy Trails Council, where he assisted the Eagle Scouts, and he also primarily worked at Lewis's supermarket. He attended East Stroudsburg University for a whopping one semester. After that venture, he attended Northampton Community College in Bethlehem Township as a chemistry major.
Yo, East Stroudsburg fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's not the best. Just gotta watch out for
Unless
those
there's a
chem.
show.
Before ambushing police, Frein did have some run-ins with the Hard Fist of Justice. In 2004, he was charged with burglary and grand larceny after allegedly stealing items from vendors at a World War II reenactment in Odessa, New York. It seems as though he acted as a draft dodger because he skipped his trial and would end up being arrested in Pennsylvania as a fugitive from the law. He was held for 109 days in county jail in New York on felony charges before pleading guilty to misdemeanor charges of possession of stolen property. He received no jail time due to the time he already served and paid $3,120 in restitution.
So wait, this dude's pissed at the cops because he stole some shit?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
because like I said, he wasn't like always against the police, but after he had some run-ins with them, yeah, he did not like them afterwards. So in 2008, Eric founded Istoknivuk, which is Serbo-Croatian word for Eastern Wolf, and he used our favorite social media site, MySpace, to promote his new group.
R.I.P.
You say that, but fun fact, this MySpace page is still active.
Yeah, it's like mostly for music and doesn't get used anymore.
I mean, like this actual page for Eastern Wolf
Oh
is still.
shit.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's still there, which leads me to believe that all of our profiles are still floating somewhere.
Mine is.
That's nice. The main picture featured Eric engaged in military LARPing, aka he was doing military simulations for fun,
That was bad, son.
while dressed in an army of Republika Srpska uniforms. He performed roles in these simulations. He was portraying Bosnian Serb soldiers, and most believed he did so because he just enjoyed the field jackets they wore, not really their ideology of, massacres and genocide.
Slay.
Yeah, basically, he just wanted to slay in the jackets, which, if you look them up, they are some pretty nice jackets. Just throwing that out there. He made frequent trips to Southeast Europe to learn more about the battles that took place there to make his simulations more authentic. And just to clarify, we're not talking about World War II, World War I. We're talking about the Balkans Wars that happened in the 90s, which was some like insane, bloody combat since World War II in Europe at the time, because, now there's Ukraine. So the Eastern Wolves was actually part of a larger group called the Red Alliance. Different factions of the Red Alliance would wage battle with airsoft guns, and honestly, this kind of sounds fun as hell. It was something that I did often in my teenage years. Not that I was part of the Red Alliance, but I was just enjoyed playing. Almost got shot in the eye once. But
Well.
yeah. Eric's fellow military LARPers noted that he took things more serious than most, using his deep knowledge of history to become very detailed in his simulations, especially in uniform and equipment. But surprisingly enough, he really wasn't too obsessive of what others used. He would try and use authentic weaponry, meanwhile other people would use like Chinese knockoffs, and he was just like, okay, whatever. But this was probably why he was tolerated, that he wouldn't be on everyone's ass about how they did things.
Don't
He
be a
was
dick.
Yeah, he was not a dick to his group here.
Don't be a stupid bitch.
Don't be a stupid bitch. He was actually also noted for his sense of humor. So it was during this time of playing Serbian where he had his role as a German soldier in Auschwitz. So yeah, to correct myself, he wasn't a prisoner. He was a German soldier in Auschwitz in a 16-minute anti-Nazi film, Lustig. There's someone here that probably heard me say he played a German soldier and thought, oh no.
Mhm.
But no, it was an anti-Nazi film. In 2009, he actually gave advice to Jeremiah Hornbaker about a World War I documentary, and later was offered several jobs, but turned them down.
What
Imagine
did
if
he?
he took them.
Yeah, because it was at this time police believed he was getting ready to prepare himself for the ambush. So if we fast forward a few years to July 2014, Eric notified his friends and family that he was moving to Delaware to work at a chemical factory because, chemical degree. This makes sense. However, police theorize he spent his time preparing for his deadly ambush and evasion from authorities. At the times of the attacks on state troopers, Eric was living with his parents in Candanesis, a small PA town in the Poconos. So on September 12, 2014, during a routine shift change outside of the state trooper barracks in Blooming Grove, Pennsylvania, gunshots were heard and soon 38-year-old Corporal Brian K. Dickinson, the second, not junior, the second, was killed, leaving behind a wife and two kids, and Trooper Alice Douglas was severely wounded by a 308 caliber rifle fired from Frein, about, I think it was somewhere between 50 to 70 yards. In the surrounding area, there was regular people who heard gunfire, so many people knew something happened. After the attack, the barracks were immediately closed down so crime scene investigators could process it, followed by repairs made to the building. Troopers would be transferred to Honesdale, 20 miles away, until November 12th, when all but 3 employees returned. Trooper Douglas was taken to Geisina Medical Center for a gunshot wound to the pelvis, and he was stable but in critical condition. Trooper Douglas would later go underneath 16 surgeries in a New York City hospital to help regain the ability to walk on his own after being partially paralyzed in the shooting. Being the bigger man, in May 2015, he announced he has forgiven Eric for the shooting and shared his experience and thoughts with some local news TV channels.
I'd still be pissed.
I'd be pissed too. Like I'm saying, I don't know if I could ever like forgive someone for something like that, but like for him to do, I think that's big of him. Now immediately after the shooting, Eric was nowhere to be found. However, 3 days after the shooting, a man walking his dog found a 2001 Jeep Cherokee partially underwater in a retaining pool near the intersection of PA Route 402 and US Route 6, about 2 miles away from the shootings. It was noted that his parents did own a Jeep Cherokee. And inside the Jeep, investigators found Frank's social security card. Why leave that? Information about foreign embassies inside the states, which could lead some thoughts that he might be targeting foreigners as well or embassy staff. Camouflage paint and bullet casings that matched the ammunition used in the shooting.
Idiot.
Yeah, not too fucking survivalist. There's no basic document, security.
Boy Scouts failed him.
He didn't get that badge. Believing Eric to be their sole suspect now, authorities obtained an arrest warrant on September 16, 2014, as a criminal complaint was filed in the U.S. District Court in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is right in our backyard.
Scranton.
What? The Electric City,
City.
Scranton.
What?
The ambushing city. So you might be thinking, how dumb of Eric to leave his car so close to the crime scene. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I called that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Suckers. What police actually believe what happened was that Eric lost control of his vehicle when he failed to see a T-junction and afterwards may have traveled 15 to 20 miles on foot to his parents' house in Candacesis, Pennsylvania.
Still an idiot.
Oh, yeah, he should have at least brought his documents. I mean, maybe they're under the water, he couldn't find them or something, he hoped the best, but come on now. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Immediately after the warrant was issued, police organized a massive manhunt for Eric, growing to damn near 1,000 officers by September 24th. Participating parties included local police, state police from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Connecticut, the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the ATF. Tracking dogs were commonly used at first, however, Eric was able to evade them by frequently crossing water and using his terrain to his advantage.
It was wild to watch.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So I had some reactions to this. Pennsylvania soon began to display digital billboards across the Commonwealth and 5 other neighboring states as images of the SWAT's armored Bearcat vehicles were commonly seen roaming the streets. Bearcat sounds like a fun thing, but if you looked up the Bearcat vehicle, you would instantly recognize it what it is. It's like that armored triangular looking fucking truck the SWAT teams used. You see
Okay,
them all.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I've seen Batman.
Exactly. They were just trying to find anything they could to lead them to Eric. The total cost of this manhunt came to $11.9 million. During the manhunt, police on several occasions actually saw Eric. However, he was able to use a rugged terrain to slip away, and police believed he was just taunting them. His old friends also told police that he believed that Eric was just trying to act like Rambo. Authorities compared the manhunt to similar searches for outdoorsmen turned criminals, including Eric Rudolph, who led a bombing campaign in the late 90s, Jason McVeigh, and Robert Fisher, who blew up his house with his family inside. What also hampered police efforts was that initially they were not issued specialized body armor meant to provide protection against gunfire. So if you're a cop, you might be less willing to put yourself in extra risk when chasing down a cop killer when you don't have the proper protection.
Right.
Yeah. So during this manhunt, there was actually a local who bore a resemblance to Eric named James Tully. He was stopped over 20 times by police due to his looks. See, it's not just certain people that get stopped like that. There was one situation where a rifle was pointed at him while he laid on the ground, and he feared for his life, and he ended up receiving a few bruised ribs from being slammed on the ground. 48 days after the shooting, U.S. Marshal Special Operations Group captured Eric near an unused airport hangar at Birchwood Pocono Air Park, an abandoned airfield. Eric was unarmed, but police did recover a .308 caliber rifle and a pistol. There was a mishap during the search as some police There was a mishap during the search as some police units accidentally traveled to the Pocono Mountain Municipal Airport, which was not abandoned and about 10 miles away from where Eric was located. Gotta love those communication skills.
Idiots.
It was I was reading that and I was just trying to imagine like them just trying to read an actively used airport, like the SWAT team coming in, marshals, state police, all this, and people just freaking out.
You imbecile.
Now, when he was discovered, Eric did not resist arrest. However, there was some injuries that mysteriously appeared on him.
He got his ass kicked.
He had a cuff on his nose, scrapes over his eyes, and bruising to his cheeks and eyes. Now, state police announced that these were already present before their arrest, believing that he incurred these injuries during his run in the mountains and the forest and all that. However, the marshals plain out said, yeah, this happened during the arrest. However, they didn't say someone decked him. They said when they were trying to keep him face down, he scraped himself on the ground because it was to not have these kind of fugitives be able to look at them in the face.
Fair.
So here is some good symbolism here. The handcuffs that was used to restrain Frein was actually those that belonged to Officer Brian Dickinson, the police officer that was shot and killed. Eric was also taken to the barracks where the attack occurred in the backseat of Officer Dixon's car.
I was gonna say, is it Dickinson or Dixon?
Dixon.
Okay.
Honestly, props to police for having the strength to not just utilize police brutality. I could not personally imagine guarding someone that just killed people that I worked with for years like that.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't Epstein himself.
It's surprising. However, so he was indicted on 12 total charges, including terrorism and first-degree murder. During a video arraignment on January 29, 2015, he pleaded not guilty to all charges, and the prosecution announced that they would seek the death penalty. And on my birthday in 2017, April 19th, he was convicted on all counts and sentenced to death via lethal injection. He currently still sits in SCI Somerset, a medium security prison in Pennsylvania.
Yay, prison systems.
Yay. Now, before I end this, I would like to add that as these attacks and this manhunt was literally the first thing I heard about Pennsylvania once I completed my military training. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because I literally like nobody told me, which is kind of fucked up back then. But like I remember people I was working with were like looking at the computer reading the story of this guy on a manhunt for Pennsylvania. I'm like, "Oh, cool, Pennsylvania. I'm from there. Let's see what's going on." And I'm like, "He's from Scranton. Oh, son of a bitch, this is close."
Yeah, you're like expecting Pittsburgh or some shit.
Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or Allentown, something like that. No, that was like the first thing I saw of Pennsylvania when I was, like a free-ish man. Can't say free, but
Relieved.
yeah. And I even worked with somebody, right for the hospital, who like during this time, everyone was on alert. Schools were shut down. People were told to stay inside. All of this, and there was an allegation that one of the places he stopped to like have some sort of shelter was their neighbor's shed.
Holy fuck.
Like he was seen leaving the shed or something. So yeah, that was pretty wild to hear.
The whole thing was just crazy to watch.
Yeah, I could imagine. But stay tuned next week where I stick to my murder, but I will take it up a notch as I take a look into the Bible Belt Strangler, also known as the Redhead Murders. So if you don't have a soul, you might want to set out next week. Well, it's not my fault. They're daywalkers, whatever they are. What was that, skinwalkers? Nah, they're all paranormal. Get a soul. Come on now, get your shit together.
Until next time. Wait. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
That was part of my outro.
No, what?
We'll get,
Yeah.
yeah, hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's why we're married.
So on that note, that will do it for us here at the Full Send Rejects. We thank you for listening to us this week. If you haven't already, take a listen back to our interview with M. Wiz of the Valley Unknown, where we talk about paranormal and Fallout. And be sure to see what we have coming in store in these coming weeks. Just not Disney week, because we ain't doing shit. But like the great poet Skeletor said, until we meet again, full fuck send it.
Full send it.
Full send it.
I can't believe I did that.